Hi, buongiorno. Welcome back to our sessions. I am in Sardinia, as you probably know. In Sardinia, it is the 15th of May today, 15 giugno, no, 15 maggio, non giugno. Eh, there are 26 degrees today, 26 gradi, which is, well, summer already for some. But not here. Here, just warm days. It's still spring officially. But if you're not used to it, it does get a little bit warm. Which it is understandable. The fact that many people don't go out in the afternoon, especially in full summer. It is really too hot to go and do shopping or whatever. And in fact, if you ever wondered why do shops close in the afternoon in Italy, or probably in Spain, in the Mediterranean countries, it is because the times, the opening and closing times are they depend on the weather, the summer weather. Where, as I said, people don't leave the house in the afternoon. So normally most shops open from maybe 9 in the morning, close at 1, and then they reopen at 5, which is a little bit cooler. People can leave the house again. I haven't spent for many years, I haven't spent summer in Sardinia now, so I do find it a lot warmer than I did before. I need to get used to it again. Anyway, we're not here for the weather, although obviously a little bit of information about the place I am in now. What we're going to do today is another of those traps where everybody falls into. How about Bene, Buono, Bello? What do we do with them? How do we use them? How do we not use them, especially? Let's see, I'm going to share the WordPad page. As I've said before, I've given up on Zoom whiteboard because I don't like it at all. It's not really user-friendly at all, or not this user, at least. So what we have here, bene, as I said, buono and bello. From the grammar point of view, bene is an adverb, buono and bello are adjectives. What is the difference? Bene, an adverb. Basically, we can describe it a little bit as the adjective of a verb, adverb, because it describes, an adverb describes how we do something. Instead, buono and bello are adjectives. Adjectives are the so-called describing words, meaning they give a description of a noun instead. So that already should give you help really on how to use them, although they don't always translate literally from English. But let's see a bit how we can use bene. So bene, we said, is an adverb, so it goes with verbs, not with nouns. You cannot say that something is bene. You cannot say il ristorante è bene. Wrong. It is wrong. Nothing, no object, no person is bene. I mean, you can't really use it with the verb to be, or leave that to Italians. Instead, how do we use bene in some expressions that we know very well? One of the first expressions that we learn when we start studying Italian is when we're asking somebody how they are. How are you? I am well. Come stai? Sto bene. I am well. So maybe there's something again that you can keep in mind. Do not try and use it with the verb to be. However, you can use it with the verb stare when you're asking somebody how they are. Come stai? Sto bene. Come sta la famiglia? La famiglia sta bene. So as I said, this bene describes how you do something. So you can do a job well. You can perform a task well. So for example, you can say, oh, I never think about examples before, as you may have realized. Um, Infatti, let's see some expressions. Let me just put a little bit of space in here. Ha fatto bene. He did the right thing. Ha fatto bene. Oh, è andata bene. È andata bene. How did whatever go? It went well. È andata bene. In general, femminile, however, it depends. If you've got something specific, then it could be è andato bene. For example, how did the exam go? It went well. Come è andato l'esame? L'esame è andato bene. How did the whole situation go? It went well. È andata bene. Is it true that she said this and that? Yes, it is true. Ha fatto bene. She did the right thing to say whatever she did, or he. And we can do a job, as I said, job or a task well. Ha fatto il lavoro bene. He did it well. We'll find some, if I later, some expressions similar to this, but using an adjective instead. So you cannot say, as I said, you cannot say il ristorante è bene, il pranzo è bene. It is not correct. Instead, you can say that il pranzo è buono. So buono meaning good, of something of good quality. So as I said, a restaurant, a hotel, a product, an item is buono if it's of good quality. Also, buono is good to eat. For example, il pranzo, always thinking about food, era buono. Or we can go to un buon ristorante, a good restaurant as well. And then we have bello. Think of bello in general again, when we're talking about aesthetics, something beautiful, nice looking, good looking. So a person, if a person is good looking, that is bello or bella. Something that I don't know, a flower can be bello, or again, think about visual, something visual. When we're talking about aesthetics, we use bello. However, we also use bello when we're talking about a book, un bel libro, a beautiful book, un bel film, a beautiful film. Which is beautiful to look at or beautiful to read. I don't know. Certain things like many things, I'm sure you've seen them before, you know, whilst learning, or we've seen them in one of our sessions here. You cannot always translate word by word. You can have sometimes a guide, some use certain things as guidance, but then you always have to be flexible, really, when translating from one language to another. So here I was writing un bel film or un bel libro. We can also have, shall we have a nice looking, a good looking man? Un bell'uomo. So something that you see. Bello, we also use it when we're talking about weather. Bel tempo is good weather, beautiful weather, bel tempo. So il tempo era bello, the weather was good. Let's see the opposites as well. So going back to bene, the opposite of bene is male. So male again is either unwell or bad, in the sense badly. So something can do something, someone can do something badly. So not in an efficient way. Quindi ha fatto, no, infatti, in a different way. Il lavoro è stato fatto male. The job, the task, the work was done badly. So remember, badly, not bad as an adjective. So badly is the opposite of, literally, of well, doing something well or doing something badly. So yeah, male is the opposite of bene. And in fact, going back to the expression that I used earlier, come stai? You can either say sto bene, or the opposite would be sto male. I am unwell. In fact, I'm sure you also know the expression non c'è male, which is, that is supposed to be not an apostrophe, but an accent. But too long to look for an accent in here now. So non c'è male is the answer, one of the answers that you can give when somebody asks you how you are. Not bad. So yeah, not badly. I'm not doing badly at all. Which is not very good translation in English. But as I said, learn these expressions almost by heart, let's say, but by heart, but feeling the way they are perceived in Italian. So don't think about this word means this word all the time. Learn with feeling how the language works, not just from the technical point of view. The opposite of buono, it depends what we are talking about. So the opposite of buono would be cattivo. So for example, food could be cattivo. If it doesn't taste good, il pranzo era cattivo. Here, more than you really use un ristorante cattivo, you say un ristorante, maybe just the you make the sentence into a negative. Un ristorante non è buono o non è di buona qualità. So yeah, so cattivo in the sense bad quality. In fact, we are going to add something in here. I'll add this in a bit. The opposite of bello, remember we are talking about aesthetics, would be brutto. So brutto, literally ugly. Un film brutto, an ugly film. Un libro brutto, an ugly book. Un uomo brutto, an ugly man. Tempo brutto, ugly weather. bad weather, ugly weather. So I don't know if it's just a question of language, also an attitude towards something. So yes, brutto, as we said, it can be visually or aesthetically something which is not pleasing to the eyes. However, as we've seen with Bello, we can also use it for films and books. Something that we should absolutely add here is bravo, which again sometimes like bello, bravo, buono, and bene, they can all be translated with good in English, but it depends on the context. So again, when you're not sure, go into the dictionary, look for buono and see the examples they are giving you. Look for bravo, look for bello, look for bene, and see which ones can be interchangeable, which ones are not. If you do not see the example there, probably you cannot say it. So bravo. Bravo, remember, is an adjective, so you have the different endings for this bravo. Normally, bravo is known as a compliment in a theater, for example, bravo. However, bravo is masculine singular, so if you want to applaud an actress instead, then you say brava. If you want to applaud a whole group of actors and actresses, then you say bravi, plural masculine, as a mixed group. And then we have brave, which is plural feminine. So bravo, we use it for people, for living beings. So people and, I don't know, animals, if they behave well, si comportano bene. So bravo, I said you can have a good person, una persona brava. So una persona brava. So it could be a good person, like in English, I don't know, generous or kind or whatever. We can have, unlike this dog barking outside, we can have, like, for example, bravo. You can say to a child, to a dog, for example, good boy. And then you can be good at something, for example, in a subject, at school. So you can be bravo in, I don't know, matematica. Let me just put a little. So good at maths. So recap. These three are adjectives. Buono, literally good, something of good quality. You can use it for a product, an item of good quality, or food, obviously. I had an example. Obviously, you also use it for to wish somebody a good day, good evening, buongiorno, buonasera, buonanotte. However, I'll say it now, if you've spent a nice day, then you say ho passato una bella giornata. I've spent a beautiful day, not una buona giornata. You spent a beautiful day. And you have a beautiful experience, una bella esperienza, not necessarily good experience. Sometimes, obviously, you can use words in a more creative way. However, let's stick to the way the words are normally used. Bravo, we said we use it for living beings, people or animals, if somebody is well behaved or has a nice personality or they are good at something. Bello, in general, we're talking about, as I said, aesthetics or something visual, which could be when you are watching a film. However, we also say that a book that we are reading is a beautiful book. Un bell'uomo, a good-looking man, bel tempo is good weather, beautiful weather. Brutto would be the opposite of bello, so ugly. Here, I forgot the opposite in here. The opposite of bravo is also cattivo. So cattivo is a person or an animal that behaves badly, misbehave. Cattivo, we can also use it kind of, let's say evil, but not, yeah, we can use it for evil as well, actually. Obviously, there are other words for it. But un bambino cattivo, it's a bad, it's a badly behaved child. Cattivo, we said, is also the opposite of buono. So food can be buono or can be cattivo. Now going back to bene. Bene, we said, is an adverb, so it goes with verbs. Can you see the job, the work has been done badly, or something did, or something went well. The opposite we said is male. So something maybe went badly instead of went well. Again, going back to the advice, I said, learn maybe a few expressions, be confident with those expressions, and then gradually don't just assume that you need one instead of the other. When you're not sure, unless you've seen it, obviously feel free to try it. But if you've got the time and the opportunity, do your research. So you learn it for the first time, you learn it correctly instead of guessing. And then you memorize things wrongly. What else can we say? I'm sure there is a lot more, really. There is a lot more to say, like other things. So maybe in the future we will, or I will add a bit more to it. However, feel free to ask questions, comment, share with whoever may find this useful, subscribe, which is the only way for me to continue to do this, really. Do ask me whichever question you'd like to ask. And as I said before, I also teach one-to-one or very small groups with Zoom. So if you are interested, let me know and we can arrange something. I teach online, so I can be quite flexible with timing, days as well, normally. In fact, let me tell you super quickly something about the lessons. Normally, the best thing to do is having weekly lessons. I tend to have the same time, same day with each student, which is, it gives a bit of a structure, and then it's easier to remember for everyone, myself and the students too. And then I think is when you have a routine, it's a lot easier to stick to the routine instead of if you keep changing, then it's just easier to give up. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful, and I will see you on our next session. Bye bye. Ciao.